3 very easy moves to learn as a beginner to start breaking. Video requested by one of our students. I'm gonna show you 1 footwork, 1 freeze and 1 power move. So the first footwork that you can learn, in my opinion, is the helicopter or coffee grinder or 1 step. That is this one here. You start from the position 0. The position 0 is this position here. You can decide if you want to spin clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm gonna really recommend to practice on both sides. First, I'm gonna start spinning clockwise, so towards my right side, starting by straightening the left leg. I don't wanna straighten the left leg just like this forward, but I wanna move it towards the left side. So from here, I'm gonna lean the right hand on the floor. If you can, just lean the fingertips of your hands or the hands in this position, like this. But if it's too hard for you and if it hurts to stay with your hands like this or with the fingertips, you can even land your hands flat on the floor. But when you get more advanced, I really recommend to stay on the fingertips or like this to make your footwork looks better, looks higher and better. So lean right hand on the floor, left leg facing the left side, and from here you start turning in the right direction, clockwise. So from here, turn, you switch the weight and you lean on the left hand, and from here you're gonna jump and keep turning with the left leg straight. So again, from here, turn, switch the weight. You don't wanna touch with your heel on the floor or with your foot on the floor, so don't do this. If you want, you can slide a little bit, but never tap or touch or do this with your foot on the floor. You can lift it up all the time or you can slide it if it's easier. So again, from here, slide and turn. From here you lean the right hand again on the floor and you jump. And as you can see, I keep turning with my foot. I'm gonna show you from the back, from here. So, pump and turn. And you end up in the same position as you started. One more time, from here, like this. When you feel comfortable, try to do multiple rounds. I'm gonna show you slowly 3 rounds. Like this. And I also recommend to practice on the other side, spinning counterclockwise. Same exact things. From here, the cool thing about this move is that when you learn it smoothly on both sides, you can start playing and already creating new footworks. So you can do 1 move on both sides, but you can connect it already. So for example, I can start spinning clockwise like this. I do 1 round, then I change my leg and I do it on the other side. Then I change and I do it on the other side. Then I change and I do it on the other side. You can also play it and also do it with just 1 arm. So instead of using both hands like this, I want to stay on my right hand, so like this. And you have 1 move, but this move opens many opportunities to create new moves. So after this, second move to start breaking is the backspin. This was a footwork, now we're gonna see a power move. Footworks are all the steps on the floor, kind of like top rocks, where you dance you tap with your feet on the floor and you follow the music, you follow the beat. But with power move, it's a little bit harder to follow the music. It's more like dynamic movements where you spin around, your legs are up in the air the whole time, usually, and they are a little bit more advanced and hard to learn, usually. Not always, but usually. But the backspin is gonna be very easy. I wanna start by sitting on the floor like this. If you spin clockwise, right leg straight, bend the left one like this. Right hand flat on the floor. From here, lean on the elbow, on the right elbow, and at the same time, kick your left leg towards the right side. So from here, kick, and then from here, drop down on your back. And now kick with the right leg, like this. So it's 2 kicks. This is very important. Many people do a common mistake to kick only with 1 leg. Some people kick only with the first one, so they do something like this, And some other people kick only with the second leg. So maybe they kick just a little bit with this, but then they kick like this with the second. You can still do a backspin like this, but it's way harder. But make sure you fully extend your legs. So you kick with both of them. I'm gonna show you slowly from here. Elbow, kick the first leg, go on your back, and from here you kick with the second leg. And from here you try to lift up the hips just a little bit off the floor. So don't spin like this, because if you spin with your back flat on the floor, you will have more, it will be harder to spin. But if you try to move your hips a little bit backwards like this and lift them up off the floor, you're only gonna spin on the middle part of the back and on the upper part of the back, and you will be able to spin more. If you cannot do many rounds, probably it could be for two different reasons. First reason is that you're not lifting up the hips properly, so you're not doing this with your hips, but you're staying too low like this. This may be the first reason why you cannot do many rounds. Second reason could be about the surface where you're spinning. So, or maybe because of your clothing. You should really try to do this move on a slippery floor and with something slippery. In this case, here it's pretty slippery and I have just a regular t-shirt and it's okay. Okay, I cannot do many rounds with this t-shirt. Maybe I should wear something a little bit more slippery, but I can still manage to do maybe 3, maybe 4 rounds, I don't know. Maybe I'll try right now, let's see. But yeah, the important thing is that you try on something slippery, not on a carpet, for example, or I don't know, something else. Let's try. So now I'm gonna do exactly the same thing, but the last step, I wanna close my legs and bend them to spin more. If you don't close your legs, if you stay with your legs wide or straight and you don't fold and bend, you can still do a few rounds, maybe 1, maybe 1.5, maybe 2, but it's gonna be hard to do many rounds. Let's try from here. Whew, okay, maybe I could have done half more round. I don't know how many rounds I did. Okay, you can also practice this move on the other side if you want. As a beginner, I really recommend to practice all moves on both sides at first. Maybe when you get all the basics on both sides, you can decide which side you wanna practice more. But at the beginning, to have really strong basics, strong foundation, and to have a pretty balanced body, I really recommend practicing on both sides a little bit of everything. The basic freezes. The freezes are the static positions that we're gonna see now. The footworks, the power moves, everything on both sides. Especially the freezes. Because with the freezes, you're gonna develop strength, not only coordinations. Like with the backspin and with footworks, it's mostly about coordination. Okay, it's also a little bit about strength and stamina, but mostly about coordination. But with freezes, you're gonna develop a lot of strength and also mobility. So I really recommend to practice freezes on both sides, to really not develop strength only on one side, but to develop strength on both sides. So let's see the freeze now. There are many basic freezes that you can start with, but in my opinion, the easiest one is the headstand, because it doesn't require any strength, just a little bit of strength on your core, but very little, but more like it requires a little bit of body control and stability. And you can really practice it gradually. So the first step to practice the headstand is to do what I call the tripod position. Why tripod? Because you have to think about 3 spots on the floor and think about a triangle or a tripod where you put the camera on, okay? So think about a triangle. 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here. One of the points is gonna be the head, the other 2 points are gonna be the legs, the feet. So the head is here, other 2 points, 1 and 2. And just be comfortable in these positions, in this position at first. If you feel comfortable here, you can start leaning one knee on one elbow and then switch and lean the other knee on the other elbow. If you also feel comfortable by leaning the knees on the elbow, go for both knees like this. If you feel comfortable even here, remove one knee off the elbow and then try with the other one, and then try with both knees at the same time, like this. The important thing here for the headstand is to maintain like a seated position, like this, like a squat position, an angle with your legs and with your body. So from here, don't do this, don't kick your legs straight, because if you do that, you may fall backwards. It could be a little bit dangerous. But if you try to stay in a seated position, so body completely straight, neck, very important, neck straight. Don't be like this, don't be like this, don't be in weird positions with your neck, just stay straight with your neck and try to stay on the middle part of your head. So stay aligned here and with your legs kind of like 90 degrees from your upper body. If you stay like this, you should have a good control. After learning it in this way, you can start playing with different variations, like straightening the legs. But even when you straighten the legs, don't push them up. So don't do this. From here, from knees like this. Never do kind of like this. Or even if you want to open your legs, stay a little low with your legs like this. Don't do this. Many people do this mistake of straightening up the legs too much. Stay low with the legs. This will develop more control, and it's going to be more useful to learn head spins in future or other freezes. Maintain the legs kind of low. We also maintain this kind of low leg position or this angle for other freezes. For example, even advanced freezes and tricks. For example, if you want to hop on one hand, if we want to do hand-ups, the knees positions is like this, and we want to push with the knees in order to bounce, to jump with the hand. So always stay with an angle here. Never stay too straight like this. Okay? So these are the 3 moves that you can start as a beginner. They are very easy. You don't need any requirement to learn them. I hope you enjoy. If you have any video requests, let us know. Become our student on breakingmentors.com or write us an email on breakingmentors@gmail.com, and see you at the next episode. Yo!